Hey, what is going on, you guys? My name is Inabishin. I am the leader of Aries Clan, and the message I'm going to talk about is mostly about COVID-19. As you can see, our channel has been kind of inactive the past week because this thing is actually kind of affecting us in real life, and it's something we all have to adjust to. Right now, a lot of Aries members live in New York and California, and these places are being hit the hardest for the United States, at least. Europe is being hit way harder. They have like complete lockdowns, and we're just curfews and stuff like that right now. But I want to talk about mainly why we've been inactive and what's happening in the future, hopefully. So this COVID-19 has canceled a lot of plans and has changed a lot of things. So I don't know if you guys heard that the president said this is going to last till July or August. But my prediction is that it's going to be way longer than that, and it could be around a year. The reason for that, they keep saying the high temperatures is going to kill the virus, but I really don't think that's going to happen. It's the exact same thing as how the flu and the common cold come at a certain season. So that's going to keep continuing for the rest of the time until you get a vaccine, which will take a year. The reason they're telling you guys that it's in July or August is because they want to decrease the panic. So with this thing now being part of our life, it's gonna be a problem for Aries in many different ways. If you guys know, we were supposed to buy a clan house, and I actually live in upstate New York, and so I'm safe here. I don't have really a problem, but I'm supposed to move the house to downstate New York or New Jersey, so that's kind of like where the epicenter of coronavirus is right now. And if that doesn't stop, that's going to be kind of hard to move there. So at the moment, I'm kind of confused on what to do. And basically all I can do is wait and see what happens in the future. Hopefully by June or something, we can see if this starts to clear up. Like in China, it took them 4 months to contain it, and they do so much. If you guys watch videos, they literally sanitize everything. They have hoses on the street, trucks walking or driving around, and it's crazy over there. The US doesn't do nearly as much as that, and I kind of highly doubt that we're gonna have this contained within 4 months. This is gonna be a really long process. But yeah, the house plans, I don't know what's gonna happen to that, but we're supposed to move into it in the fall. And this virus doesn't affect children as badly as it does elder people, and I don't think anybody in the Aries house will have a severe issue, although I know that some of them vape and shit, and I don't know. I mean, I'm like dead ass, I don't know if that'll affect somebody, but as far as I know, once you get the virus, you're immune to it after, pretty much, because your body's immune system builds up an immunity to it. So this virus I'm going to talk about is how it's affected Aries. We've had 2 Aries members with symptoms of it. I don't know if they actually have it because they don't have tests where they are, so they can't be tested if they have a corona. However, they do have symptoms, and that's why most of our clan members now are gonna be, I'm giving them like a week off. I'm gonna be uploading every day this week or every couple days. My school just got canceled today and tomorrow completely. I'm in university, and for the rest of the semester I have online classes. I was supposed to graduate this semester too. I'm a senior in university, and I don't know if I'm graduating or how that's gonna go. Like a ceremony, I don't think I'm gonna get one. I highly doubt it. It's literally crazy, but it's not just me, it's a lot of people, so I'm not really like mad about it. Like everybody's going through this. That's pretty much what I'm going to talk about for Aries Clan. If you want to leave this now, I'm going to get into some political and geopolitical issues, and I'm going to talk about COVID-19 because I am pretty educated on it, but I'm not like a health professional or expert on this, so you can't really take my words into account without doing your own research. Also, you should always fact check people. So yeah, I'm going to get into it. I basically learned about this, like the entire scientific knowledge we currently know about COVID-19 in my molecular genetics biology lab class, which was kind of weird. They just basically yesterday switched up the entire plan to talk about COVID only, and we learned about like the RNA sequences, what the test is. Basically, I could perform the test myself in a lab. It's that simple that an undergraduate biochemistry major could do the entire coronavirus test. The only reason it's so hard to find a test is because they have to make primers for the coronavirus. Not every single lab in the world is like as advanced as other labs, so they can't really find the correct primer combination that easily. The genome for COVID-19 was mapped in January 2020 by the Chinese when it was like surging in their population. So then they created primers for it, and then they created the test for it. Basically what primers are is they're like a couple of nucleotide bases, those ones A, T, C, G. So they need to have some of those combined together to bind to the other RNA, which is inside of a coronavirus. Basically, to get a vaccine for this, you would need to use a technique called CRISPR-Cas9, which is gene editing, to find a way to make this so the DNA could be inactive and then give you some sort of immunity when you inject the inactive RNA into somebody. It's called complementary RNA or negative RNA. It doesn't code for proteins. It doesn't code for the things that will make more viruses, so it won't really expand within you, but your RNA will, or your immune system will respond to it. Now we're going to get out of the science stuff and just talk about how this started, because a lot of people say this was actually biochemical warfare, and that Trump is actually vaccinated. I don't know if you guys know this, but this is a theory that since Trump met with like the Brazilian president and people that had coronavirus, they got tested positive for it. And he met with them, shook their hands, did everything, but the people in Trump's cabinet and around him at the time when he went to these meetings that shook the same hands, they tested positive for coronavirus, but Trump doesn't have coronavirus. People said the US planted this virus inside of China, and Trump is vaccinated, so that's why he didn't get the disease. And it was announced yesterday that the vaccine is out, and that's literally impossible. You can't make a vaccine within less than a year. So people are saying the vaccine is already created. I'm probably gonna get shot by the government for this, but they're saying the vaccine is already created and Trump's vaccinated, and this is biochemical warfare. China openly says the US didn't attack. They've said it before, but I think that this is a real thing. It's not actually biochemical warfare, because I don't know if that's true. If a bunch of cabinet members or people that were around Trump have the coronavirus, I have to look that up, but I don't know. And also, I don't really think the US would be that crazy, and I don't see the point of doing it. It also ruined the American market, but the reason people say that the US did that is to decrease the population of China and to ruin the Chinese economy, which it kind of worked. I mean, yeah, but it's also ruining the US's economy and everything. So I doubt it. Anyways, if you go to these wet markets in China where this disease most likely started, if you've ever seen pictures of them, they basically have cages upon cages of animals just shitting into the ones below them, and then those animals eat the shit and shit in the ones below them. And it's probably the dirtiest place you could ever be in, and it's 100%. That's how diseases start, because those fucking places that have just the most worst conditions I've ever seen. There was a bat inside of a cage, and it looked like a werewolf or some shit. Like they are disgusting. I don't know how you could eat a bat. The reason though that you can't really blame them is not like they just want to eat everything. People get racist kind of and xenophobic with that attitude and start saying, oh, Chinese people just eat whatever. No, bro, it's because they don't have food, because their population is so large that they have to eat everything. I have no bad blood with the Chinese people. I only hate the government, the army, and the companies there. Those people that run those three things are ruthless. They're stupid. They're like, those people are the reason that the human race is gonna be extinct one day, and it's gonna be because of those three people in China. The fucking Chinese government, dude, I don't even want to get into it too much, but this video is gonna be really long, but they're the reason that the world's gonna end. Especially the companies, they don't really even give a crap about the environment or anything right now, because they're industrializing The reason the US and every other UN, everybody allows them to be this large of a polluter is because when the US was industrializing, nobody stopped them. So now China's industrializing right now. It's in its industrialization period. And they give the argument that you weren't stopped, so why should we be stopped? So that's why we just let them, basically. But literally, the amount of pollution that China puts out kills more people in a year than coronavirus will ever kill people. So if we just let Chinese people stay inside their house and not die from the coronavirus, the world will be safer from the lack of pollution than from coronavirus. Okay, lastly, I want to talk about what you can do to stop this. Basically, this is a pandemic, a global one, and the only thing that we can do is put money into this, because the reason these things take so long, like vaccines and stuff, is because there's no money in it. When you put out a vaccine, it's like a one-time use thing or once a year use thing, and you'll make a few $1 billion off it maybe. And that's not enough for most investment companies. They want multi-billion dollars, or they want like 100 billion. They don't want just a few billion or a billion or something like that. This vaccine will be mostly like free. As you guys know, it's not going to be that expensive because you can't charge people too much for a vaccine like this. The only company I know, it's only for me, like there's probably more, there's definitely more. The only one I know is the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They've been talking about the next pandemic is going to be a really big one and bad one since 2015, if you guys don't know that. And they have their own team that actually deals with this stuff. And I don't know if you guys also know, in 2017 or 2018, Trump fired the US pandemic team. So literally the only one right now that can respond is the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation one. That's why it's spreading so badly in the US. And it's gonna get really bad. If you guys didn't think this was bad, curfews and stuff like that, the US is so screwed in the next few months or less than a month. It's gonna get so bad here. It's literally gonna infect everybody. And if you're out on the street, like in China, people just walked out in the street and died. That's how bad it got there. It's gonna be way worse here. Like, just in a few months, you'll see. If nobody responds appropriately, like people are still going out for spring break and shit like that, like college students. If we continue this kind of stuff, it's gonna happen to us too, and rightfully so, because people just it needs to be like that. I think, in my personal opinion, natural selection needs to take its course, and I seriously think people that are that stupid that go to spring break in a fucking emergency situation should get fucking killed by the virus. Okay, I don't know if you guys think about this, but put it in the comments if you think this is like something that you would think would be a good idea. I just say, I know we can't do this. Like, it's obviously you can't. You have to let everybody survive or whatever. You have to try your hardest. But what's gonna happen is this virus is gonna spread anyways to millions of people, it's at 100,000, I think. It's gonna go to millions, and it's gonna take for so long for us just to get this thing to like decrease, and it's gonna be with us forever. And there's gonna be more diseases coming because the wet markets in China are not gonna stop. So there's gonna be more diseases coming. Like every few years, you're gonna see a new pandemic or something, but it's not gonna be maybe this big. It's not gonna go global because now people are gonna be like, oh, okay, well now we need to hire a pandemic team. If you guys remember, the swine flu came from China. I think SARS came from China or something. Ebola came from Africa. But do you know why that was detained? Ebola didn't spread worldwide because of the nurses and the healthcare workers in Africa, particularly in the program's Partners in Health and Global Health Impact Project. They did so much work for those areas by quarantining people, and so that people couldn't travel around the world. And anyways, in Africa there isn't that much travel as it is, so that was contained very well. So let me get back to what I was saying. So basically, there's gonna be more diseases coming, and this is gonna last for so long. I really doubt that everybody is gonna be able to survive all these pandemics that are gonna come out. So in my opinion, with all this shit happening, I just say let natural selection, which is fucking nature, take its course. It's such a radical idea, but if you think about it, it's literally what we do to animals in the wild. We just record them getting eaten and stuff like that for entertainment, and we just say it's natural selection, let it take its course. So if we were just to let natural selection take its course, I wouldn't ever do this. I wouldn't, even if I was like a president somehow, I wouldn't implement this law because I know that everybody doesn't like it, and I would rather take the opinion of other people than my own. In my own opinion, I just say this virus is like the perfect thing to take out the people in society that don't have like the best attributes. So people that are older, you've lived your life, dog. It's time to go. You're taking up all the resources. You're taking up so much money from Medicare. You have to, dip out the scene. Like, if you survive, that's good on you, bro. But I don't think you should be around here, like, anymore. Like, it's done, dog. It's nature taking its course right now. If we fucking decrease the population, you could take out all the old people that we don't need necessarily. I don't know. And you could take out all the people that have disabilities. And that's just what's supposed to happen in natural selection anyways. These people are not supposed to have survived if it wasn't like a perfect utopian world. This is a utopia. We get food at any time we want, stuff like that. If we didn't, and we didn't follow any societal norms, this place would be hectic, and a lot of us would be dead. I know people probably think that's so radical that I just said that. Like, on camera, they're like, oh shit, bro, that you might get arrested for that. No, dude. It's literally just, I don't think that we should have an overpopulation problem. And we have a severe one right now. If you decrease the population, every single problem in the world would be so less severe. Global warming, starvation, disease, because wet markets wouldn't exist, right? And lots of other bad things would not happen. The only two things you need to make this world perfect: distribution of wealth to poorer countries and decreasing the population. Those are the two things that will stop the biggest threats to the human race and all of the world. However, I highly doubt either of those are going to be implemented. This world's going to go to shits. We're all going to be fucking killed. We're by starvation. Food is going to be gone within the next 100 years, bro. There's no way that we live past 100 years without having serious implications. Like, this world right now is at its peak. By 2100, this world will be declining. I honestly think before that. I think it's so soon. This world is on a decline, maybe even now. It's so close to declining. Enjoy this time while you can, because this world is gonna go to shit very, very soon. Because we have stupid leaders, we have stupid people in office, and we'll never have a good leader in office. I'm 100% sure, because too many people in this population are just uneducated, and they don't really have any clue at what we need in this world. So I'm sorry to end this on a sad note, and pessimistic note too. I'm very pessimistic in my life, so it's not 100% true. I'll leave that. It's not 100% correct that this could happen, but you probably know that this will happen, because there's no way anybody's gonna do a damn thing about global warming, overpopulation. They're not gonna do those things. And we're gonna end up having to make the richest people buy food. The poorest people are gonna die, and this is gonna happen very soon. I don't know why I just keep going back to something stupid. Yeah, I'm just a 21-year-old kid, and I don't know everything, so this is not guaranteed to happen. And I'll leave with this, okay? Most likely in your county, if you don't live in like New York City, there is really not a lot of cases. Like, in my town, there's 0. In my county, there's 0 cases of coronavirus. So I just went a really long rant about overpopulation for no reason, This is just a situation that is being blown out of proportion, and I'm probably just panicking. And that's exactly what you need to not do, is panic, because there's really not really a big deal of this virus. Just make sure you're social distancing, washing your hands. That's the biggest things you could do. And this will probably blow over by July. Maybe because I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm not a health expert again. But if it doesn't, you should be flexible, I guess. And the good thing is that the house market is going to go down, since people are not going to be wanting to move to New York. So I will get the Aries house to be cheaper at the time. Okay, anyways, this was a really bad rant. This was so long. I'm going to be doing this again tomorrow, but it's not going to be a corona maybe. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. If you're still watching, type hashtag coronavirus in the comments, because I highly doubt anybody's watching at this point. It's just me talking to myself. So, yeah, bye. Bye-bye.